Yo, Dan Larson here. Welcome to the newest episode of Letsynthesize. And as I'm working on a a hybrid trappy kind of pack, and when I showed this kit for my friends, they requested to make a tutorial on the main bass. So here is this little short song, which is basically a construction kit kind of thing for this pack. But so they loved it and requested me to asked me to show how I made the main bass in that. So please have a listen to it. Okay, so this was this little construction kit kind of thingy. It's a very hard hitting trap kind of stuff. As I call it, hybrid trap, but I just can't really decide the perfect genre for this. But I think it suits trap really well. So this is the main bass. So, and as you may recognize, the sound comes from Serum. Well, the sound itself is pretty easy. I didn't do too much and it doesn't contain too much thing. But first let me show you the edit effect, which is a high pass filter where you know, I just cut out all the low end. We don't need that because we have a very hard hitting sub here. Let me show that. So I didn't want to conflict with the sub. This is why I cut out all the lows. Below 155, I added a reverb, but just very slight. The effects in Serum gave the sound very wet and reverby kind of feeling to it. I had used a frequency shifter, but I don't remember if I used it. Yeah, I'm not using it anywhere. I just try to figure out some kind of variations using that, but it is not important here. And the OTT at the end, well, sorry, it is not an OTT, it's just a multivariate dynamics plugin with some upward compression to bring up those reverb what I added. And this is all. Let's check the Serum preset. So the main thing based on this oscillator, on oscillator A. And to be honest, the wavetable itself is not very important because the effects are so strong and you know they affect the sound so heavily that let me just show you, just you know, switch to some different wavetables. The sound itself won't change very drastically. Now I hope I didn't mess up the whole sound. Of course I did. Anyway. Okay, so I don't remember which wavetable I used, but I believe it was somewhere here. Oh, okay, this was it. Additive Mass 2, which is some cymatics wavetable pack. But as I showed you, it is not very important. You can use your own wavetable. And, you know, I use FM from oscillator B, which is pushed up to octave 4. And oscillator A, of course, I didn't let out oscillator go. I didn't let out oscillator B, because it's only a modulation for oscillator A, which is an FM. I mean, the warp knob is set to FM. And I use LE41 to have some movement on the wavetable position and on the reverb filter. And as you can see, it doesn't move too much. Just a very, very little on the cutoff. But it makes some very nice movement on the pitch too, so not only washes out the whole sound, but it adds some very slight pitch movements. So some kind of yeah, some kind of very intonal sound, which is very, I think I pretty like it, because it you know, it doesn't make the sound boring. It has some movement on the pitch, not only on the effects and on the, you know, the tone of the sound. So I use the 16 voices unison, very, very, very detuned. So it is important for the sound to make it, well, a little noisy, you know, not very tonal. Let me show you what happens if I pull the detuned knob back. The whole sound turns a lot fatter. So these were the main settings on the main page. I didn't use any sub and noise oscillator. I added a hyper dimension like always, and I use LE41 to play a little with the detune knob. I didn't want to use the rate knob for this, so I just used modulation on the detune, a very slight dimension expander, and a very slight distortion. It doesn't add too much different. But the main thing is the delay, because this is what gives the metallic noise, the metallic tone to it. And I use, so for this I used a very, very short delay time on both of the channels. And the easiest way to set it up is to click on the link. So this way you can set both the left and the right channels, the delay time for them at the same time. So as you can see, when I push it up, they move all together. So I was around 43, something like that. Okay, I will set it back later. So when I just unclick it, the whole sound is too messy and too rusty. I didn't find the good tone to it in metallic sense. So as you can hear, you must find the best point, the sweet spot, where your sound I think this is cool. So you must find the exact settings for the delay time for both of the channels, where the delay is in the same frequency as your sound. And when you have that, I use the note modulator, which is a key tracker basically, dropped on both of the channels. So when you play your keyboard, let me just show you. The delay time moves along with them, I mean with the keyboard. So this is important if you want to make your sound, you know, like a real instrument, which because this delay gives too much tone to it. I mean, it changes the sound too much. So if you don't put the key tracker on the delay times, you won't be able to play, or you will be able to play with the sound on different notes, but it will stay at the same frequency. The delay time will stay at the same frequency. So what you will have when you play the sound on your keyboard is just basically some kind of difference in the tone, which is definitely not what you want. Let me show you. Just bypass all the destinations. So when I it's just not what you want. It's not what you want. You want to move the delay time along with your note. Now it is a pain to set back everything, but I think I'm on point now. So yes, as you can hear, the delay time and the effect which is given by the delay moves along with my keyboard, moves along with the main frequency of the sound. So this is the cool thing, and of course an OTT to, you know, compress everything together, and another reverb. It's just very short size and very short decay time to flatten up the sound. And an EQ, what, as I can see, I'm not using anything for that, so we can get rid of it. So this is the sound. It's as you saw, it's pretty easy, but let me show you one more thing, the modulation, because as I move along on the song, I move further, the sound changes. These envelopes are only for modulating the reverb time, this guy here. So at this stage you know, just push up the drive knob and give that effect, you know, when you let it go and it just booms into your face. It's pretty nice. So these envelopes for that, but the main thing here is this guy, the FM mix. So when I change the FM mix, basically this warp knob, the sound can change very to a different sound. Let me show you once more. So this is a pretty cool way, you know, to change the tone of the sound and just bring up all the elements in the next part of your song. I think it's cool. And yeah, another warp mode here and this envelope to, you know, just play a little more with the sound. Why we are here. Serum A warp. Okay, sorry. So this was what I showed you. This is the FM matrix, FM knob here. This is an envelope for that. And the FM mix, filter mix. Oh, I cannot see anything. Okay, the filter mix is, I believe, for reverb, the reverb filter. Let me see if it moves. Yes, here is a knob. Yes, I found too much. This reverb effect, reverb filter effect, I found too much at this stage of the sound, or at this tone. So this is why I just pulled it back and created some more slide effects to it. I just liked it more. So this is it. I pretty like this song. It's very hard and contains lots of energy, especially with this hard-hitting sub. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and my friends asked me to complete this track to a full track. I mean, not complete this idea or complete this kit into a full track. So I will try to do my best, and we will see if it comes out under the name of Wuxum, which is, you know, my artist name, but unfortunately I don't have too much time to create songs, but hopefully this will change a little later. We will see. But unfortunately I cannot share this patch with you guys, because as I said, this is a kit for an upcoming pack, which is not out yet. And I will inform you if it's out, but right now I just cannot share it. And as I showed you, it's pretty easy, pretty simple to set it up. Just put it in your own wavetable, push up the unison, use an FM reverb filter, and this delay trick, which is not a real trick, but unfortunately, you know, it's just a very common technique to create metallic sounds. It's very easy to set it up. You have everything, all the information to set up your own sound, and I hope you don't mind. So see you in the next videos, the next week, in the next Let's Synthesize episode, and have a great week, guys. Bye bye.